Hey guys, welcome to the latest edition of the Muir Reflection. John from the John Muir Show here, and one of the liberal justices on the Supreme Court of the United States, Sonia Sotomayor, just the other day publicly complained about the constitutionalist majority on the Supreme Court, constantly ruling in favor of the Trump administration when it comes to various injunctions that lower courts have placed on Trump administration policies. So the Trump administration has had a whole host of policies on things like immigration, and then you have had lower courts placing injunctions on the Trump administration policy, and then eventually the matter makes its way to the Supreme Court, and we have consistently seen the constitutionalist majority of the Supreme Court saying, nope, there's no reason for this injunction to have been put in place by the lower courts, so we are going to lift said injunction so the Trump administration policy in question can move forward as planned. And Justice Sotomayor is trying to claim that this just goes to show that the constitutionalist majority on the Supreme Court of the United States is doing the bidding of Donald Trump. They're working on behalf of Donald Trump. No, that's not what is happening at all. This has nothing to do with Donald Trump. It would not matter if it is Donald Trump who is pushing these various policies in question, or if it was Barack Obama who is pushing these various policies in question. You see, I understand that for a liberal hack like Sonia Sotomayor, she views everything in terms of, screw the Constitution, I'm going to rule in favor of what I personally want and what my preferred Democrat Party wants. So I think Sotomayor is just assuming that every justice on the Supreme Court operates in the same way, but they do not. There are justices on the Supreme Court, constitutionalist justices on the Supreme Court, who actually care about what their job description says, and they actually rule consistently in a legitimate matter, constantly putting the Constitution of the United States, the rule of law, ahead of what the Democrat Party wants and ahead of what the Republican Party wants, ensuring that the rule of law always wins out over all political ideologies. That's what the Supreme Court's doing when it keeps lifting these injunctions that have been placed by lower courts on various Trump administration policies. They're not doing it because they're concerned with who the person is that set the policy, because it's Donald Trump. The reason that they're lifting these injunctions is because there was no lawful reason for these lower courts to have put these injunctions in place in the first place. That's why they're lifting those injunctions. It's because they're adhering to the rule of law, and they're just simply overriding these illegitimate rulings from the lower courts. Texas U.S. Senator Ted Cruz, he put this perfectly just yesterday, I believe it was, at a Senate Judiciary Committee hearing, when he had stated, look, when you've got someone like Sonia Sotomayor and maybe some of these judges on the lower courts that place these injunctions, getting angry when the Supreme Court's constitutionalist majority goes lifting the injunctions, it's like an arsonist getting mad that they hear fire sirens coming that way, that firefighters are coming to put out the fire that they started. That's what's happening. You have these lower courts placing these injunctions. There is no legitimate reason as to why these injunctions should be placed on President Trump's lawful policies. And then, yes, the Supreme Court is prompted to weigh in because you had this illegitimate ruling from the lower court. And yes, the Supreme Court has to step in and put out the fire that this lower court had started. That's what's taking place here. With someone like Sonia Sotomayor, she's just showing that she's angry that the Trump administration is able to get its way when it is acting in total accordance with the law of the United States, showing that Sotomayor doesn't care about the law always winning out. She doesn't care about the Constitution always winning out. She wants what she personally wants to be the case to always win out. She always wants to get her way, even if it's in total defiance to the rule of law and the Constitution. Those are not the kind of people that we need on our courts. People like Sonia Sotomayor on the Supreme Court of the United States. This is why it's so imperative to ensure that you vote for conservative presidents, you vote for conservative U.S. senators, to ensure that it's only legitimate constitutionalist justices and judges that are being nominated, that are being confirmed, because we always need to ensure that the Constitution, the rule of law, wins out in all of our courts, as it is currently winning out in the United States Supreme Court. That needs to win out over any political ideology, Democrat, Republican, Independent, does not matter. The rule of law, the Constitution, always needs to come first. That's not what you get from someone like Sonia Sotomayor. That's all the time that we have for today. The John Muir Show, each and every weekday, 8:40 a.m. on WTAQ, 9 a.m. WSAU and WHBL. Until next time, I'm out.